Good morning and welcome. Running late. It's a nice rainy morning in Wisconsin and I didn't want to get out of bed. So here we are, about 5 minutes late. But nonetheless, we have a wonderful reading for today. It's not even much of a reading. It's coming right out of my own little brain and information that dropped in. So we'll see what you think. This is your early morning intuitive guidance. Good morning, Angie. Welcome. You're the first one popping on today. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum. Here with some words of wisdom for your day. And I want to expound upon yesterday's insight that dropped in about 21 days of invoking divine right timing and divine right order. So I'm calling it Show Me the Way, because Jonelle actually, after yesterday's introduction to this idea, which plopped in right in the middle of the reading, thank you for the coffee, I appreciate it, sent me the old Styx song, Show Me the Way. And I'm like, yeah, that's it, spot on. So that's kind of the theme for today, is Show Me the Way. So first we're going to show you the way with some tapping and some breath, preparing us to be as open and accepting and receptive as we can be to these ideas. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Another one, a little deeper. In through the nose, out through the mouth. This one at the top, hold. In through the nose, hold at the top, out through the mouth. Open, receptive, curious, interested, bemused, whatever words work for you. It looks like someone else has popped on, but your name isn't rolling. Glad you are here. Welcome. So let's just go back over this a little bit. And there's Jonelle. Good morning, good morning. So I was just saying, 21 days of invoking divine right timing and divine right order. Show me the way. So also, I'm just winging this one today because that was the guidance. It's not a card. It's not a chapter out of a book. It's just whatever drops into my brain as we go here. But as we do this for the next 21 days, which they estimate is about the time your brain needs to really absorb something and make it more habitual. And again, my hope is, well, first of all, just doing the 21 days is going to forever change us, because here we are humming along. We make 1 degree of change here. Over time, we end up in a very different place. A very different place than we would have been had we not made that little change. It's the basics of compound interest. So if you're one of those thought leaders who is all about the compound interest thing, here you go. Here's a humanitarian example of same. So our goal is going to be, and I will do my best. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you are here. I will do my best to remember to do this more days than not. But certainly you can do this on your own, or you can flag this particular video and go back to it and do this again and again and again. Maybe this particular video becomes another part of your morning routine. Good morning, Mel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now people are starting to roll in. This is good. It's because we want to get all of our practical rebels and anyone else who wants to join us on board for 21 days of invoking divine right timing and divine right order. So you might want to make the old Styx song, Show Me the Way, that Jonelle sent me again yesterday. I totally forgot about that one. And Styx is one of my favorite bands back in the day. REO Speedwagon and Styx were right up there. So you might want to take these and make your own little reminder card. And we're going to read these, again, more days than not. And I want to do it as call response so that we all get to the point where it's kind of settled into our mind. I don't want to say drilled into our mind, because that's that divine masculine run amok stuff, but settled into our mind, embraced with our mind, so that it's easy enough for us to remember these anytime, anywhere. Okay? So let's start with this. We'll review this orange card. We'll do it as call and response, and then I'll see what drops into my brain to share with you. So there are 4 statements. First one is, today the divine will show me the way. You repeat. I am open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. Good morning, Beth. Welcome. And here's the last one. Moving through the world, open to constant help, gets easier and easier with practice. So those are our 4 statements. Let's do them again, just for repetition's sake. Today the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. Moving through the world, open to constant help, gets easier and easier with practice. Yay, you! Day 2, on the way. So, things I want to say about this, and I'm just going to do them in the order they drop into my brain. Many people are of a more right or left brain, logical, reasonable mindset. And they may have a hard time wrapping their brain around the idea of divine right timing and divine right order. In that case, that doesn't mean they don't have to participate or they don't get to choose to participate, but it may mean that they want to take a different mindset with this. And the mindset that I use with clients who come toward me with, that's all garbage. There's no such thing as divine unfolding. We're just scraggling our way along through life, blah, blah, is, do you ever notice how when you buy a green car, suddenly you see green cars everywhere? You never before noticed green cars, but now all of a sudden you're noticing them everywhere. That's about changing your lenses. And it's a very human thing we can do. Change our perspective, and what we notice that's out there changes. So the way to look at that is, it's all out there. Everything's out there. It's all achievable, attainable, accessible, but we don't tend to notice it because we have certain lenses on. I'll give you an example. And I've had many clients who came from this perspective. All men are dangerous. They have a filter. They don't see the plethora of men out there who are wonderful human beings because they have their lenses attuned to all men are dangerous. So what do they see and what do they focus on? The dangerous men. So, and let's expand that to what's going on in our world right now. If you have the lenses, and I'm guilty at times of this myself, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. What do we see then? We pick out, we home in on the things that demonstrate the world's going to hell in a handbasket. Is that really what we want to draw to us? Is that really what we want to pay attention to, put our precious energy on? Let's hope not. Let's put our attention and energy on what we do want. So for instance, in terms of politics, rather than wasting our precious energy lamenting those who don't do the things that we wish they would do, what about supporting those who do? What about electing those who do? What about putting forth energy toward those who do? To me, that's a great deal better use of our time than lamenting what we don't like. That just shines a spotlight on it. That just gives it more energy. again, if you look at some of this stuff, and our society has been so set up for this, we have not yet, we're moving in the direction, I believe, but we have not yet mastered the art and science of multiple outcomes, allowing live and let live, etc. We are locked in there's only two options and they fight with each other and you have to pick a side and all that crap. So here's the tug of war. What if one side quits fighting? You can't have a fight when there's not at least two sides. At least two sides. So what if you begin doing some other kinds of things? We've talked about Braver Angels. We've talked about some of the groups that pour their time and energy into how do we bridge these gaps? How do we make them not gaps anymore, right? Today the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked and I am guided to them. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. So, rather than assuming right off the bat we have all the answers, what if we come at it from the perspective of, I'm waiting to be shown the way. I'm looking to see, I'm going about my business, I'm doing my stuff, but I am waiting for the guidance. So, I'll give you one that was interesting. Friend of mine hasn't listened to the radio in a long time. And basically, it's been since her daughter passed away that she just hasn't been able to listen to music. Recently, she tried a couple of times, and the first time it just wasn't a go. The second time, when she turned the radio on, it was playing the ringtone that her daughter had had on her phone for her mother. How's that for a message? And yes, so be one of the people who says, well, that was just coincidence. Look at the odds of that. If you're one of those people who messes around with the odds, look at the odds of that. How many songs are out there at that particular moment turning on the radio and there's that song? Yeah. You can say it's coincidence. I'm not buying it. But today the divine will show me the way. So pose your questions to the universe. Put them in your God jar. What are the things that are daunting, taxing, you're uncertain about, you have trepidation, you're wondering what the divine unfolding is going to be? Like for me today, my sister's bringing my father home from the extended care place he was, rehab place he was. Do we have any idea how this is going to unfold? Do we have any idea how this is going to be handled, managed, cultivated? No. No, we don't. So we're doing our best Hail Mary here, and we'll see how things unfold. Today the divine will show me the way. I'm open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to follow them. Moving through the world, open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. So the decisions I've made is I'm making his favorite meal. So we're having calico baked beans and rice pudding with raisins. That I can do. That I know how to do. I can make his bed. We got the furniture back in there. I can make his bed. I know how to do that. Other things, don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. My sister probably will have a clue, different kinds of clues than I do. The divine's going to show her the way differently than the divine's going to show me the way. All I need to do is honor the ways the divine shows me. So what about for you? What's on your docket today? Or what are the questions you have? Or what are the seeming obstacles that are in your way that we've already decided aren't obstacles, but challenges that provide us with some learning we really need in order to move forward? Can you see the mindset shift we're building here? It's a mindset shift we're being guided to. And again, whether you're a far more left brain person who wants logic and reason, the best logic and reason for why to even pursue this for 21 days no less, is because we're going to end up in a much better place than we are right now. Feeling better, moving better, looking at the world through brighter eyes, much happier people. I think that's worth a 21-day investment, don't you? So, several of you have contacted me privately. Some of you have posted it in the feed from yesterday, but those of you who would like to join us on this little endeavor, 21 days of invoking divine right timing and divine right order, please put a me too in the feed. And we'll keep revisiting this. We'll go back to doing some cards. We'll go back to doing some chapters out of books, whatever the universe moves me to do on a particular day. But hopefully, at least several times a week, we'll revisit invoking our divine right timing and divine right order. Today, the divine will show me the way. Have an awesome Monday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.